I think if you were to ask most heterosexual men, let's say 90%, what would be the one thing that could happen in a long-term relationship that would make you unhappy, not including lying and cheating, they would say that the sex in the relationship has diminished greatly or come to halt altogether. It might be that most men would protest this initially, but if they were pushed to be honest with themselves and really imagine the reality of it, they would come clean and admit it themselves. A lot of dead bedrooms end up with men being left to look after themselves, so to speak, which tends to be a downward slope into porn addiction and apathy for their partner. What triggered this discussion for this video was a post entitled, "Married Dudes, how often are you having sex with your wife?" This was posted on the Ask Men Over 30 subreddit. I am going to go through some of the answers the post got. Comment 1. Once a month, when the moon is in the right spot. Managing my resentfulness about this is one of life's fun little challenges. Would I want more? I used to, but now I'm not so sure. Honestly, we're not that compatible in that area, even though it's 10 years now. I've considered what I could do to make myself irresistibly desirable, but I've not figured out what that might look like or be. I suspect it comes down to being too available and mutually affectionate all the time. There's no build-up of tension, so there's no need for release. End quote. This is a mature and realistic view of it. Sex can't be exciting all the time if you are familiar with your partner. On the point of making himself irresistibly desirable, he could do this and still have her not be interested in the idea. Comment 2. Unfortunately, not nearly enough. Like most guys might say. After 15 years and 2 kids, it's about once a week on Saturday, and it's not really sex. Typically it's a hand stuff for me and a vibrator or hand stuff for her. All the fun stuff seems to have disappeared, even though I try to bring it back. Comment 3. We're supposed to have sex. Comment 4. Once or twice a month, which is not anywhere near enough for me. We also had an extended period where it was down to 2x a year, not ideal. Married 9 years, no kids. End quote. No kids in the picture, yet still down and as bad as 2 times a year. It's baffling. What is he getting out of that relationship that he can't get from causal hookups or his friends and family? Comment 5. So my conclusion is to never get married because sex is non-existent. No thanks. And to this comment he gets 3 different people responding saying they are married and they do not have sex. Comment 6. Once every few months. I'm a 33-year-old man and she's a 34-year-old woman. Comment 7. Fertility treatments pretty much killed our sex life. We manage about once a month. And that's fun, but we're having a hard time making it spontaneous again. Comment 8. This is kind of irrelevant unless people also say what it was going into the marriage. End quote. I like this comment. It would likely highlight the typical bait and switch we always see of lots of sex before the marriage and none after. Comment 9. This is an oxymoronic question. I'm going to end with this comment. Comment 10. My sex went way up after the marriage ended. However, my testimony may not help you as it's also with different women now. This is my point. What is the point of getting married and having a poor sex life with a woman who most likely tests your patience, spends your money and uses up your time when you could have frivolous sex as much as you want? You could have multiple girlfriends and get the companionship you seek from some of them, the animalistic sex from others. I have obviously hand-picked comments that reinforce the point that marriage is the tomb of love, as Casanova said. If you read the thread, the link is in the description, you can see for yourself, however, that the majority of the responses are not positive. Here the norm is as outlined here and the minority is couples who have healthy sex regularly. I do want to also note that there is an array of different ages in the post. Men in their 60s talking about getting it regularly, men in their 30s and 40s saying they get nothing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for listening.